From Nashville, Tennessee, it's Country Music Time, brought to you by your United States Air Force and this radio station. And now, here's the star of this week's show, Red Simpson.
Hello, I'm a truck. You've heard songs about truck drivers many times, your story told. How they pulled out of Pittsburgh for 6 days on the road, about that Feather River Canyon, and a-climbing that old grapevine, that old roadhouse down in Texas, and the girls they left behind. You've heard their tales daring, and I think that's just fine. But if you could spare a minute, I'd like to tell you mine. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. No double clutching, gear jamming, coffee drinking nuts. They drive their way to glory, yeah, and they have all the luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. Well, there he sits in that cafe drinking coffee and telling lies. Probably telling them about that hill he topped 10 miles back. He ought to tell them how he missed a gear in that Volkswagen bus full of hippies passed us like I was sitting up on jacks. Or how he missed the curve over on 66. Hadn't been for me hanging on the shoulder, would have both wound up in the ditch. If we're on time, he takes the credit, and if we're late, I get the blame. Up those hills with shutters open, my stacks are running flame. My tackle running, red line sucking diesel from the tanks. I'd take him south and I'll bring him back without a word of thanks. Well, now you've heard my story, and I guess it's my tough luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. No double clutching, gear jamming, coffee drinking nuts. They drive their way to glory, yeah, and they have all the luck. There'd be no truck drivers if it wasn't for us trucks. Look at him sipping coffee and flirting with that waitress. And where do you think he left me? That's right, next to a cattle truck. Why couldn't he have put me over by that little pink Mac sitting over there? Gosh, she's got pretty mud flaps. And talk about stacked, they're both chrome. Well, he'll be coming out in a minute, and he'll get to that bar, and he'll go around and beat on the tires. You know, for 2 pints of diesel, I'd have a flat on the inside dual. Ha! That'd fix him. I never did like the way he drives anyhow. Thinks he's God's gift to waitresses. He never gives them a tip. Well, I know what he's gonna do now. Gonna take out that tape cartridge of Buck Owens and play it again. I don't know why he don't get a Merle Haggard tape.
Red, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
That was a big hit not too long ago for you, right?
Yeah, it sure was.
You got another truck driving song lined up for us?
Yeah, we'll do you one right now.
All right.
Well, I stopped at a roadhouse down in Texas. Was a little place called Hamburger Dan's. I heard that old jukebox playing a song called That Truck Driving Man. The waitress then brought me some coffee. I thanked her, then I called her back again. I said that old song sure does fit me, 'cause I'm a truck driving man. Pour me another cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. I'll put a quarter in the jukebox, and I'll play that truck driving man. Yeah. Climbed back aboard my old semi, then like a flash I was gone. Got them old truck wheels rolling, I'm on my way back to San Antonio. When I get my call up to glory, they're gonna take me away from this land. I'll hit this old truck up to heaven, 'cause I'm a truck driving man. Pour me another cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. quarter in the jukebox, and I'll play that truck driving man, yeah, and play that truck driving man. Thank you. Now here's Air Force Sergeant Perry Bullard with a few words about your United States Air Force.
Thank you, Red. You can't get the job without the experience or the experience without the job. You ever run into that situation before? It's kind of frustrating, to say the least. Well, how does this sound? You pick the job and we guarantee the experience. Specialized fields in electronics or mechanics with training at some of the best technical schools in the world. And there's more, like getting paid while you learn and some heavy travel if you want it. Find the time to check out the Air Force's Guaranteed Job Training Program. And while you're there, ask about the recent pay raise that almost doubles your starting salary as an airman. Why not drop by or call your nearest Air Force recruiter and let him tell you about the NOW programs the Air Force has to offer. For the location of your local Air Force recruiter, call this toll-free number, 800-631-1972. Now let's get back to the star of this week's show, Red Simpson.
Thank you very much, Perry.
Thank you, Red. You've got a real special guest on today, and is she a real knockout, huh?
Boy, is she.
Why don't you do the introduction?
All right, I'd like to introduce a very beautiful young lady, a great singer. She's with United Artists. Her name is Miss Penny DeHaven.
Thank you, Red. Thank you for all those compliments. Makes me feel good.
What you gonna do, Penny?
I'm going to do one of my records. It was out, a thing called Gone. There was a time in my life when I felt like the world had given up on me. But then I met you, darling, and for the first time in my life, I learned the meaning of true love. But like a fool, I took your love for granted. And now if I could relive any part of my life, I would relive the days I spent here with you. But it's too late, 'cause now you're gone. Since you've gone, my heart, my lips, my tear-stained eyes, a lonely soul within me cries. I acted small, I broke your heart, and now you're gone, now you're gone. Oh, what I'd give for the lifetime I've wasted for the love that I'd tasted. I was wrong, but darling, now you're gone.
Oh, I tell you, that was a la Ray Charles, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's real
It's a
soul.
great
Got a lot of
song.
soul in
Yeah.
it.
How about doing another one for us while you're here, would you?
I'd love to. We'll speed it up a little bit this time.
All right.
And do one of my other ones, thing called Down in the Boondocks. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks, people put me down 'cause that's the side of town I was born in. Well, I love him, yeah, he loves me, but I don't fit his society. So Lord have mercy on a girl from down in the boondocks. Well, every night I watch his lights from the house upon the hill. I love the boy who lives up there, and I know I always will. But I don't dare go near his door, 'cause his folks won't let me in. So I have to try to be content to see him whenever I can. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks, all the people put me down 'cause that's the side of town I was born in. Whoa, 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 well I love him and he loves me, but I don't fit his society. So Lord have mercy on a girl from down in the boondocks. One fine day I'm gonna find a way to move from this old shack. I'm gonna hold my head up like a queen, and I never, never will look back. Until that day I'm gonna save my love for the boy I'll soon call mine. But tonight he'll have to steal away to see me whenever he can. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks, people put me down the side of town I was born in. Whoa, whoa, well I love him, yeah, he loves me, but I don't fit his society. So Lord have mercy on a girl from down in the boondocks. Oh, Lord have mercy on a girl from down in the boondocks. That was fun, yeah.
That's Bouncing Penny DeHaven there. Thanks again, Penny.
Thank you.
Hey, Red, what about another one of those great Red Simpson type songs?
Okay, let's do one that Merle Haggard and I put together.
All right.
You don't have very far to go. It goes like this. You always find a way to hurt my pride. If I'm not crying, you're not satisfied. I don't know why you want to hurt me so, but if you're trying to break my heart, you don't have very far to go. You don't have very far to go before the heartaches begin. I already feel the sadness of a heartbreak setting in. You're turning down the flame of love too low. And if you're trying to break my heart, you don't have very far to go. If you're trying to break my heart, you don't have very far to go.
All righty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You and Merle Haggard wrote that one, huh?
Yeah, we wrote that out in California.
Mighty pretty song. Red, we're out of time, but we'd like to thank you for being on Country Music Time.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank all the great musicians we had with us today.
Some good pickers, aren't
They
they?
sure are.
Thanks again. You've been listening to Country Music Time, brought to you by your Air Force recruiter and presented as a public service by this radio station. Country Music Time is produced in Nashville, Tennessee. Technical direction by Lieutenant Chris Cookson. This is Air Force Sergeant Perry Bullard saying thanks again to Red Simpson and reminding you young men and women that it's happening now in the United States Air Force.